Lauren, thanks for joining us. Let's dig a little deeper into what this change is and how it's playing out at KARM.
So, KARM is changing from having permanent emergency shelter to only doing 28 days for everyone. And during that time, people are giving a case manager if they want to continue to stabilize their lifestyles, like get a house, get a job, then they're able to continue to stay at KARM for after this 28 days. But if they decide that they don't want that at this point, then they will be giving their bed away.
Yeah. So why this decision to change the amount of time that people can stay there given their circumstances?
So the amount of beds that KARM has is 330 during this time of year, 370 when it's colder, but they said there's thousands of people that are unhoused in Knoxville. So they notice if you continue to just let people stay without having them do any services to help them get out, they're just going to stay in that cycle. But they've noticed from other shelters around the country where if you give people a set amount of time that you can stay there and you give them access to services, it helps them elevate.
And that is interesting in that they went and sought out best practices from other shelters. Tell me more about that, because that seems like it makes sense. You want to get the best situation. Who do you go to? Those who are doing it.
Yes, so they looked at a shelter in Denver, they looked at a shelter in Atlanta, and they also have 28 days, 30 days, one even has a week for emergency shelter. And again, once people show that they are ready to get a job, get a house, get out of homelessness, then they're able to continue to stay. If people aren't ready for that, then they'll give their bed to someone who is.
And really the mission is you want to lift people up, give them what they need to take that next step on their own. You don't want to make it such that they don't want to take that step, and thus the reason for this change.
Yes, so they did a survey last year and they said over 80% of the people said they want case management services, which is something that they previously didn't offer. It was just, okay, you can stay here. You don't have to get any access to services, but they want to help people with their health. They want people to be able to apply for a driver's license, identification, and that case manager helps you and also holds you accountable.
Mm-hmm. Accountability, that's big. Were you able to talk to any people, any guests at KARM about this change and how it's impacting them?
Yes, so I spoke to a guest because they started this Monday, April 6th for their new guest, and then they're doing it over 2 months for the current guest. And she said it will take some getting used to, but also she is in a place where she wants to have her own home. She wants to have a job, and so she understands why they're doing it.
Yeah, it's about empowering people. And lastly, you talked about, yes, the need that they are providing, but clearly the need is great out there when it comes to housing the unhoused.
Yes, I believe they said there's over 2,000 unhoused people in Knoxville, and KARM only having 330 beds. Salvation Army doesn't have that many, so the amount of beds we have is not enough for the amount of people, which is why they want to be like, okay, you're ready to move on, get these people through, and then be able to get more people off the streets and into homes.
All right. Lauren, your story we can see later today on 10 News. Thank you so much.